You ever get that feeling that the big players on Wall Street are playing a completely different game? Like they're seeing signals that the rest of us just aren't? Well, today we're going to decode those signals. We're breaking down a really powerful pattern called the triple signal to see exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Oh man, it's a feeling every single one of us knows. You see a stock just take off like a rocket, and you're stuck on the sidelines kicking yourself thinking, how did I miss that? That feeling of frustration? That's exactly what we're digging into today. Take NVDA, not too long ago. A massive 47% surge. I mean, that's the kind of move that can make someone's entire year. And for most of us, it just seemed to come out of absolutely nowhere. But what if I told you that wasn't really the case? What if the breadcrumbs were actually there, scattered across all these public filings and reports, just waiting for someone, or, something, to put all the pieces together? That's what we're going to investigate. All right, so let's put on our detective hats. We're on the hunt for three really powerful signals. And these aren't some secret backroom whispers. Nope. These are public data points that, when you combine them, tell a pretty incredible story. Okay, our first clue is the insider buy. This is pretty straightforward. It's when a top executive, we're talking the CEO, the CFO, someone who lives and breathes the company, uses their own money to buy more stock. And they legally have to report it on a document called a Form 4. So why is this such a big deal? Come on, think about it. Who on earth knows what's really going on inside a company better than the people running it? When they put their own hard-earned cash on the line, it's the ultimate vote of confidence. They're basically shouting, I know something good is coming, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Now for our second clue, and this one might surprise you a little bit. It's the Congressional trade. And yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. When members of Congress or even their close family trade a stock, they also have to file a public disclosure about it. And again, why is this so powerful? Well, these are the people at the absolute center of making policy. They might have a unique read on new laws, regulations, or big government contracts that could completely shake up an industry. Following their trades is kind of like getting a sneak peek into future policy. And that brings us to our third and final clue, the whale move. This is where we look at what the big money is doing. The giant hedge funds and the massive institutional investors. Every quarter, they have to file something called a 13F, which gives us a direct look into their playbook. A whale move can be a real game changer. These firms have armies of analysts, they have supercomputers, they don't make these bets lightly. So when a major fund suddenly starts pouring millions and millions of dollars into one stock, you know that move is backed by some serious research and conviction. Okay, so we have our three clues: the insider, the politician, and the whale. Now, individually, each one is interesting. But in the past, connecting them all in real time was, well, it was basically impossible. And this is where the modern detective comes into the story: artificial intelligence. AI can spot patterns across all of these events in a way no human ever could. And this is where it gets really fascinating. Imagine this. All three signals pop up one after another in a super tight 48-hour window, right before a huge move in the stock. It's this rapid-fire sequence of events that any human analyst would almost certainly miss. So here's how it all clicks together. First, the insider buys signals confidence from the inside. Then, the politician's trade hints at a friendly environment on the horizon. Then, the whale comes in and confirms the bet with big, big money. But the real magic is that final step, where AI connects all those dots instantly and flags it as a triple signal alert. And make no mistake, this is some seriously heavy lifting, computationally speaking. We're talking about pulling in data from thousands of different documents. The systems doing this use a whole suite of powerful AI models. The source we're looking at mentions names you might recognize, like GPT 5.1 or Claude Opus 4. The goal here is simple: see what the smartest people on Wall Street are seeing, but do it at the speed of a machine. What this really represents is a fundamental shift in how we can analyze the market. We're moving away from that slow, manual process to something that's automated, incredibly fast, and totally connected. I mean, just think about the difference. The old way involved spending weeks digging through dense, boring legal documents, trying to connect dots that were miles apart. The new way? AI does all that heavy lifting in seconds, turning a mess of scattered data points into one clear, actionable signal. So, yeah, this is all fascinating from a tech perspective for sure. But let's zoom out and look at the big picture. What does the rise of tools that can actually do this mean for you, for the everyday investor? Well, the source material that we've been analyzing says that this triple signal method has historically pointed to an upside move within 30 days, with about 73% accuracy. Now, of course, past performance is never a guarantee of future results, we all know that, but still, that's a pretty powerful number. For decades, this kind of high-speed, data-driven analysis, this was the exclusive playground of billion-dollar hedge funds. What we're seeing right now is technology leveling that playing field, making these kinds of insights accessible to way more people than ever before. And that leaves us with one last, really big question to think about. As this technology becomes more and more common, and more people have access to these kinds of signals, what happens next? When just spotting the signal is no longer the advantage, what becomes the new edge in the market? It's definitely something to chew on.